Today's the 12th of August. It's 15:30. I want to talk a little bit about Joe Biden picking Kamala Harris as his running mate. Kamala Harris is a senator, but she used to also be a DA, I believe in Los Angeles, but I could be wrong. I watched her wield her senatorial powers at the Kavanaugh hearing and just about everything else. And, I don't know what to think outside of somebody that's it's typical attorney. I don't know if you have many dealings up on the opposite end of an attorney coming after you, but they suck. They really suck. It was Shakespeare that said, kill all the lawyers. Obviously, there's been a long-standing problem with lawyers for a long time. Until you need one, which is a double-edged sword. You shouldn't have to need one, but and the more money that you pay, the better you get. But DAs are their job is to prosecute people for the county or the city or whatever, and they're expected to get results. So if you think Kamala is a kind, loving person, I don't think so. I mean, even her father had words to say about her, about her smoking weed because she's Jamaican, because she went and did an interview on video, you can find it, where she says, hey, I'm Jamaican. Which is really, if you really think about how hypocritical it is, she admits to smoking weed and prosecuted people who smoked weed. Think about it. It's ridiculous. But something comes to mind, and I was thinking, a wise man once said that people who are in power, in the sense that ruling, that you're going to rule over others, should be people who really don't want it. There's another saying called absolute power corrupts absolutely. Why does somebody want that power? It's because they love to control. Now, maybe let's make the argument about Trump. Why did Trump want to run? You can make the argument for that. But this is what I will say about Donald Trump. Donald Trump was worth billions of dollars, at least at the time when he ran for president. He was already a powerful person. If you don't think that he couldn't wield power behind the scenes with the kind of money he has, you're really foolish. In a way, and he already knew he was going to be attacked and carried on. He gave up a lifestyle of power and influence to be one of the most hated men in the world at this point. So if you really think about it, what was his motive? What was his motive? Did he have an altruistic motive of wanting to, be president, where he really did want to do good? See, here's the problem. We don't really know the motives of some of these people when they want power. Why would Joe Biden want it? He's been in a political place of power for 50 years, if you really think about it. And now at the end of his life, I mean, come on, folks, he's at the end of the road as far as human beings go. And the cognitive decline is pretty evident. I mean, it's not hard to see. It's funny. I see news feeds of Trump making one mistake with a word or saying something. The other day I said something about the pandemic in 1918 ended World War II. I know damn well he meant World War I. I understood that. That was one of his gaffes. But why would it even make the news? Biden's don't. Biden says stupid shit constantly. But this is basically kind of what I want to say, and I'll keep it short. I'm only 4 minutes in. Kamala Harris was probably a bulldog. Why does she want that power? Because odds are that if Joe Biden gets in office, I will probably pretty much guess he ain't going to be around too much longer. His cognitive decline can happen. If you've never seen how cognitive decline can go downhill rapidly. Don't tell me it's not. They're going to do one of two things with him. They're going to either prop him up and somebody's going to be else making the decisions, or they'll have to get rid of him because of his cognitive decline, and he'll have to resign, which I don't think has ever happened in our history, and she'll be president. That is some scary ass shit to me. I can't even imagine what kind of president either one of those two will be. If you don't think, and I'm going to give you an example. If you've ever had to deal with a homeowners association on a condo or a home that you move into, and you want to see those people go on power trips, those are people that never had any kind of influence in their life, and all of a sudden you give them that little bit of power, and they go freaking crazy with it. I could never live in a place that has people in a homeowners association like that, because I am not gonna bend to the will of a bunch of shitheads who are going to determine what kind of bushes I'm going to plant, or if I can keep my garage open during the day, or if I'm allowed to have a pickup truck that I park in my own driveway that I pay property tax on. They make up the rules and they enforce the rules, and I've heard tons of horror stories from homeowners associations. That's an average person. That's like you and I. What kind of people, when people get some power. Look, an average person, I don't want power. What the hell do I want that for? Why do I want that headache? I want to live a peaceful life out of the public eye, per se. Just do my thing, and I don't want to have to deal with that. But there are people that love to do that. They like the control. And you have to ask yourself when you vote, who's going to be altruistic or not? And here's a part of the problem. There are a lot of psychopaths that are politicians. There's a lot of psychopaths that are doctors. There's a lot of psychopaths that are lawyers. When we think of psychopaths, we think of criminality, but the truth is it's a personality disorder. And the very few psychopaths become murderers, killers, or whatever. But most of them are people that love control and power, and they love to wield it, and they like to they want to be in positions of it. Kamala Harris, there's rumors about Kamala Harris sleeping her way to the top with the mayor of San Francisco many years ago, and I don't remember what his name is. I think it's pretty much common knowledge that she was having an affair with him. She was married, and she got promoted up the ranks because of that. Why is that anything unusual? I mean, the truth of the matter is that a lot of women throughout history realized that they could use their body and their feminine wiles, as my aunt would say, to get ahead in life. Women don't change. People don't change. People don't change. Times change, but people don't change. I can promise you that this stuff still goes on. So Biden picks this woman as his running mate, and the next couple of months are going to be crazy because social media is going to shut down anything negative that you say about them, whether it be rumor, whether it be true, or maybe it will be true and they will shut it down. But you really need to ask yourself that question. What does somebody gain by stepping into the presidency or the vice presidency of the United States? What do you gain? I mean, I can tell you, just looking at Obama, this guy, nobody knew who this guy was. He was a community organizer. I don't even know what a community organizer is. He was a disbarred lawyer, willfully gave up his juris degree. He can't practice law anymore. He had to give it up. So did his wife. Whatever kind of shady stuff that they pulled to do that, because they offer you a choice. You have to do something bad to give up your license to practice law willingly. You had to do something shady to do that. And they're offering you the honorable way out. It's kind of the way that the ancient Japanese used to say, save your honor, your family's honor by killing yourself, or Klingon if you want to go that route. But that's what he did. Who was Obama? You didn't think he gained by becoming the president? You see where he lives now? He's got a house in Chicago, a house in Hawaii. The house he was in Chicago was already in Hyde Park. It was already a nice place. But if he didn't come out on top, if he didn't come out extremely wealthy, and you don't think, and the money keeps rolling in, this guy's going to make bank like you and I will never see in our life. I don't know if Trump will ever be able to do that. He was already wealthy. What was he going to gain? Once again, ask yourself, what does President Trump gain by becoming president? I live in Illinois. The governor here is named J.B. Pritzker. Pritzker is worth more than Donald Trump. We had another governor named Blagojevich who went to jail for trying to sell Obama's Senate seat, because that's how politics work in Illinois. He just got caught. There is an audio tape. You can find it online. You can listen where J.B. Pritzker, before he's governor, is talking to the governor at the time, Blagojevich, about how he should pick Jesse White for Secretary of State because it will go over well with the black community. Who's Pritzker? Who is this guy? I never heard of him before. Well, Pritzker's a multi-billionaire, okay? He's wielding power without having it, without the public position. He's talking to the governor and influencing the governor who he should pick for Secretary of State. Now Pritzker's governor. Why? He already had that power. He already had that power and control. When you're talking to governors, do you talk to governors? Do you have that ability to influence what a governor does? I don't. I'm sure you don't. So Pritzker's now a governor. Why did he want to be governor? What did he have to gain? He already had that influence. Because there's something else that guy wants. And a lot of times governorships are stepping stones to being senators, or, as our current Vice President Mike Pence was a governor of Indiana. A lot of times they want to go up the ladder. Case in point, Obama became a U.S. Senator before he became president. He did not finish a full term of his Senate seat. And he at one time asked, would he ever run for president? He said, no, I'm not going to run for president. And he ends up running and gives up his seat. That was done deliberately. Wanted the recognition of being the senator, and then to step up to the presidency. Whoever was pushing him, because there were people pushing it, because how did you find this guy? Where did he come out of? Just came out of nowhere. Nobody in Chicago even knew who this guy was. So I'm talking about Pritzker, because Pritzker's got more political ambition. Why does he want that? Why does he want it? He wants more ambition. He's more ambitious. Once again, and Pritzker owns properties, horse ranches, racing horse ranches all over the country, in Florida and Wisconsin. This guy's got more money than Trump does. I don't know how he made it. And I know some people that have business dealings with Pritzker, and nobody says anything good about him. I know, talk to people face to face, not hearsay or nothing. People that had business dealings with him said he was horrible. So, I want you to think about that when you go to the polls and when you go to vote. Try to find out what you think somebody's motive is when they want that power, because the world is filled, history is filled with so many people who wanted that power, and so many abused it. So many more people abused it. There's nothing. Look, when you're put in a position of power, you should be humble. You need to be humble about it. About here you are, and are you doing the best for? Because I think some of them think they're doing the best, but once again, what I said, psychopaths, just something to think about.